All thoughts in this review are based on a single theatrical viewing and thus are subject to change at a later date. This review will contain full spoilers, consider yourselves warned, and as this is an opinion-based piece, your satisfaction in watching the video is not guaranteed. Hey, look who finally made it out to the movie theater, and actually enjoyed myself while I was there. Seriously, I had real reservations about this film going in because live-action adaptations of animated works are, let's say, iffy at best. And while Pokemon certainly isn't a fandom that one cries about being besmirched by the horrors of merchandising, I still had concerns that this was going to be a fluff piece riding trends just like most other cash grabs, and it is a little bit in my eyes. Now, as I said, I did enjoy myself with this film. I just enjoyed the periphery stuff more than the actual story being told. And full disclosure, I have not played the game that this is based on, so if I'm totally off with the story being bunk, okay. But personally, again, I had a lot more fun with everything surrounding the story rather than the story itself. For instance, I thought the look of the film was really nice. The trailers made me feel the Pokemon would stand out too much in a live-action setting, but they didn't. Mewtwo looks especially well done, and the textured fur on Pikachu is lovely. I like Ryan Reynolds voicing the title character. The little shoutouts to Pokemon lore were a nice treat, and I loved the end credits where everyone is depicted trainer style like the games. And also how those clothes looked on the live actors was really good too. It was stylized, but not in a costumed way. I thought the effects of the holographic technology were really well done, but the background, the whole mystery angle that the characters are solving, just ran right through me. It felt unfinished as I watched it. For me, the ending is extremely rushed, where we get the reveal of the bad guy base, that Pikachu let Mewtwo out, and the chase, and then the reveal of Mewtwo himself, Tim and Pikachu having the tropey third act breakup, and the climax all in rapid succession, and it's too much. The action takes over and all the emotional weight was lost. Like, I think the movie wanted to have a connection between Tim and his father being estranged and Howard and his son having that same problem, but it doesn't, because we only get the reveal that Ditto has been Howard's son pretty much all along, and then we get a line about him promising to fix everything his father did, but we don't really get to see their actual relationship outside of maybe the TV interview. We don't get to see how they might be a dark foil to Tim and Harry if only different choices were made. But again, coming back to my idea of liking the little things in this film, I love that the modified Ditto can't make proper eyes just like in the anime, so they always have to be hidden by sunglasses. That was a good reveal. The third act breakup between Tim and Pikachu, however, just felt like an excuse to separate the characters so Tim could be alone when he faces said Ditto and the big bad and thus failing at the brain-swapping thing. In fact, the whole Troy Terra Island reveal seems to be there just to provide an action scene and a reason for Pikachu to be hurt so they can get to Mewtwo, who is basically right next to the place he escaped from. Why? And why is it so important that Pikachu bring Tim to Mewtwo? I know it's important for the emotional connection of Tim and Harry as Pikachu bonding, but I don't get how that helps Mewtwo in any way. And that, of course, brings me to the other reveal of Harry being Pikachu at the end, and it isn't quite all that it could be. Sure, it provides a good explanation for why Pikachu can talk, and why only Tim can understand him, but it feels underwhelming to me, because we cut away as Mewtwo separates the two, so we don't get the big emotional, "Oh my god, you're alive, Dad" moment, and also because I found Harry's look as a person not to be the one I would associate with a man who has a son in his 20s. He looks far too young. I might have accepted it more if there had been pictures of Harry around at any point in the film, so there's an idea of what he might have looked like depending on age. Here, I was just going, is that his dad or is that just some random guy? Again, the emotional weight is gone. And that's why I think the film ultimately is riding the recent trend of spectacle over substance. Sure, previous forays are also about merchandise and getting butts into seats, no arguments here, but even if we look at the very first offender in this category, I at least gave a damn when Ash got turned to stone. Not so much here. Also, the stupid mandatory attraction thing between Tim and Lucy annoyed the crud out of me, because heaven forbid a guy and a gal meet, have an adventure together that lasts all of a weekend and just be friends afterwards. But at least it didn't end with them kissing, just promising to meet later, so it could have been worse. But I really could have done without the Tim is awkward about his attractiveness jokes. So overall, I have to say that this film feels like a sandwich with wonderfully toasted artisan bread and soggy day-old tuna fish for filling. Now, if they make another film in this universe with different characters, I'd actually be interested in seeing it, because again, I enjoyed the look of everything in the world, and the number of details in the world building. It's just the story felt so flat to me. It felt like the characters could have used more development, that the emotional arcs could have been stronger, that the Tim and Lucy thing could just have been a friendship and nothing more. So ultimately, while I'm glad I saw the film and I did enjoy it, I won't be rushing out to see it again.